how hard it is for an event. I know how hard it is. You guys just pay the tickets, and you come and you're like, oh, it's all just done. And I've known Katrina now for around a month. A month?
Yeah.
And when Katrina came from nowhere, she just messaged me and said, oh, you're so inspiring. You're so inspiring, and I want to do this amazing event. And I was like, So I was like, okay, sounds good. She's like, this is about giving. No selling, just giving, adding value. That struck a chord with me, and it sounds like fun when I walk over there. And she said, it's about giving, adding value, and you're up for it, right? I'm still got a busy schedule. I had to look at it, I thought, you know what? Let's do it, let's make it happen. And then Katrina's like, oh my God! And I was like, oh my God! This is good! What I want to share with you today, guys, you see, the people that are living life on their terms, as you know, like every speaker that shared the stage with me today, the value, okay, it's kind of like the why, the passion, the mindset. They're giving you the tools and strategies that got them to where they were. Does that make sense? Would you agree that that's priceless? Yeah. Yeah? So what I want to do is I want to lock in that knowledge. And I'm going to use that a lot today. So much. I was like, oh my God, what? My mind was going crazy. But the value, guys, I can't express this enough. I can't express this enough. The value that you've got today is priceless. If there was £1 million there, and the knowledge that I've learned from the speakers that was speaking today there, what's more valuable? The knowledge. Because you can spend the money, but once you have the know-how, you can just keep on generating. Does that make sense? So let me take you back from the start. I didn't grow up saying, I want to be a speaker. I want to be a public speaker. I hated it. I was shy. And my story started in Oxford. So when I say Oxford, guys, what comes to your head? Oh, university's not in. Okay, posh. It's so funny, when I tell people in London, my story, like, it's in Oxford. No, it was gangster in Oxford. It was gangster. And I'm the oldest of four. The oldest of four, to a single parent, and she had me at the age of 17. 17 years old. Me being 27 now, when I look back at 17, I thought it was still a child. And she had me at 17. And I witnessed things as a child that I shouldn't have seen. I witnessed my mum being abused by another man. I witnessed my mum go through depression. I witnessed my mum using drugs such as crack cocaine and heroin. And I went into the care system, you know. And I went from home to home to home. So you can just imagine, when you're young and your mind is like a sponge. And you know, children think you're mean. If children know your story at school, like if your parents died in a plane crash, they're naming that child plane crash. This is how kind of like children have no limits or boundaries. So I'm not worried about school. But the miracle is that when I was 13, just after my 13th birthday, my mum put herself into rehab. And she got all of us back together in a second. And that was like all of my birthdays and Christmases put in one. And yes, I found that. And we moved from Oxford where everything happened. And we moved to Bristol. New start. Don't believe my story. I could paint my story. I was like, I'm from London. Like, you from London? Yes! I'm from London! Can you MC? Yes! I was like, look, we're going to make MC. And I'm, whoa, is that what they do in London? I said, yes! 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 And everyone started to like me. I started to impress people. I started to play football. My vehicle was, I believed at the time, because I came from a council estate, my only vehicle out of that council estate to become a professional footballer. So that was my vehicle at the time. And you know, it's not just about playing football, you've got to fit into the right crowd, otherwise you're a sub, right? So I had to work on my craft, and I made it as a professional footballer. You like that Drake song? Started from the bottom, and I'm good. Yes, I made it. I'm in the club. All the football was around, girls there. Bought a Grey Goose. Woo, woo. Going to the same club every week and seeing the same people. But I'm still like, oh my God, I love it. And then what happened was, everything from my past, I could fool other people, I could tell you my story, I could make it up. But there's one person that I couldn't fool, and that was myself. And it led me through depression. It led me to a place where I didn't want to live no more. Going out on the weekend, things that would normally kind of stimulate me, was no longer stimulating me. I was in a place where I was hollow. I didn't care. You know what? You go to university and you die, and you lose people that you love. I don't understand life. What's the point of it? I'd rather just end it now. And that was the turning point in my life. I had an opportunity to go and work in America with children. And then I was at death schools. I was at a place where I need to end my life. I can't do this no more. Guys, the worst place to go when you're depressed is the GP. Like, because they're in like work. Like, I want a hug. And then just ticking boxes. And I felt really just alone. In a world with loads of people, I felt alone. This didn't make sense. And I had an opportunity, the crazy thing is, the day after I had an opportunity to go and work in America. And I was working in America with children. And if you've got a British accent, it's a token. And the children are like, oh my God, are you from England? Oh yes. I speak already English, I speak to oh yes. Oh my God, do you know Alcohol? Yes. Oh my God. And then Jessica. I'm so happy today, I'm so happy, oh my God, I'm so happy. And she's playing, and then she trips over. She grazes in me and she's crying. It's like the world's just ended. I go down to 11 and I'm just like, Jessica, come on, I'm telling you. I'm strong. Yes, you are. Stand back up. And then 2 minutes later, oh my God, baby's over again. I thought, wow, children have that ability. Like, there's a problem, we found a solution and we're back to living. But yet with adults, we carry everything that's happened to us in the past and it weighs us down. So I knew at that point that I was going to find the root cause of my depression. And in doing so, I came across a guy called Eric Thomas. Who's Eric Thomas? Woo! Make some noise! Yeah! Make some noise! Woo! Eric Thomas is this crazy motivational speaker from America. Like, I'm from England, so he's like on stage, and he's like, when you want to succeed, it's bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I'm like, guys, calm down, man. Oh, fuck. Okay. But then what he was saying, I was saying me too. He was on a stage in front of 1,000 people, sharing everything from his past. Sharing everything from his past. And I'm thinking, why are you doing that? They're going to use that against you. No one's going to really like you for doing that. But at the same time, I was saying, me too. Me too. Me too. And that's when I had a paradigm shift. I realized that my story, my past, was no longer going to bring me down, it was going to bring me up. And it was going to connect me with people. For the first time in my life, I felt like someone could connect with me. By that point, I decided to share my story online on a blog. And I'm not the best, I'm left-handed, guys. I'm left-handed. My handwriting is terrible, okay? But I had felt something inside me that I've never felt before. A purpose inside of me to say, do you know what, I need to share my story. Because what Eric had done for me just by that one talk made me feel like I've never found my life. And I shared my story. And I had people from Australia messaging me. I had people from America messaging me. I had people that knew me, who thought they knew me, message me. Because I don't know who you are. I was just listening to, I just read your story. And I'm going through that. And strangers telling me their story. And it's like, I found my purpose. I had found my purpose. And my purpose became bigger than myself. It became bigger than my family. My purpose was to reach 1 million lives in 5 years, so that I can make a world difference, so that when I die, I can die empty. So, number one, guys, in your business is a vehicle to serve. The money becomes a byproduct. If the money is the main driver, people see through it. And everyone's fighting amongst everyone. So number one, guys, is the purpose. And I promise you, when you tap into the purpose, you're not worried about if you miss sleep. You're not worried about if you miss Coronation Street. You're not worried about the distractions around you. You don't need to have the resources, you find the resources. When you tap into your purpose, you lose that fear of being judged. When you're really in line with your purpose, and you're with your family, a life maybe that you never had, when you're in line with that, you look like any wall, any obstacles that come your way, you find a solution. You find a way. But you have to tap into your psychology, your mindset. Who here, who knows what you invest in your mind? I like that. You see that? When you surround yourself with people that invest in their mind, the things that you can achieve so far impossible. The mindset determines your perception of life. My past fed me a story that limited my growth. Some of you have stories that are limiting you. Do you agree? So when I started to realize that, I thought, okay, so who I think I am, who you think you are, isn't actually you. It's your perception. It's your conditioning. If you grew up in Japan, what language would you be speaking? What language? If you grew up in Japan, what language would you be?
Japanese.
Japanese. Why?
Because you're Japanese.
The environment, your name, you respond to your name. Okay, all of these beliefs have come from somewhere. When you were so young, that you didn't reject anyone because you were young. Your mind was like a sponge. The mind doesn't work by logic. It works by repetition. So when I had found my purpose, and I started to study the psychology, I started to then manage my emotions. So when I was going through depression, I thought, I'm depressed. There's no way out. But what I realized was that I didn't understand what emotion was. An emotion is triggered by a thought. If I told you right now to think that you were on a Caribbean cruise, if you think that right now, how are you going to feel? Good, right? So it's a vibration, it's a thought. It's a thought. And it comes into the mind, comes into the subconscious and produces a feeling, an emotion. But 90% of the time you're running subconsciously. So we know what to do. So you're going to hear all of the speakers telling you, do this, do this, do this. And it's making sense in here. But why do people still not apply it? Because of the habits that are created in the subconscious mind. And every time you walk out of your house, you are being conditioned by society, by the big corporations that buy their products. So when you get paid, you're going to spend your money. So what I found out was that same environment, because they understand how we work. They understand why you do what you do. So what you can do then, you can create an environment in your household. So what keeps you consistent is your why. Why does it keep you consistent? Because you're seeing it at a high level somewhere in your house every single day and you can't get away from it. You're seeing your gratitude list. You say, well, how can you always be so happy? I'm like, no, if you stand on my foot, I ain't gonna be happy. Right? I'm like, positive, it's not real, it's not real. I say, ouch! I'm like, smile, shit! But then I don't let it grow into a monster. It doesn't give me a bad day, it's a bad moment. Does that make sense? And this is the abilities that we have once we start to recondition our mindset, your environment in your household. What you're seeing, what you're saying, what you're doing every single day is creating your belief system. Or what you believe to be possible. Everything that you have in your life, you have attracted by the person that you've become. So you've got to kind of unlearn to learn more. Does that make sense? So when I realized that, I was like, okay, you know what? I need to reach 1 million lives. I've got my mindset in the right place. I've transformed myself from depression to being in a place where I'm managing my emotions. So then I thought, okay, I want to go back to London. And like, we're go for too long. They're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. This energy is coming. You might learn, they're like, stop, you're so over the top. So over the top. So I came back with this vision. Okay, what I have in my life right now, I saw it on the plane back from London. I saw it. I wasn't going by logic, I was going by faith. I knew it had to happen, or I was willing to die to make it happen. Because my family, when I have children, I can look them in the eyes and have done absolutely everything I could. So when I had that burning desire, it comes back to your purpose. I came to London. I came back from America to Bristol where I was staying. And my old football mates were like, what a weirdo. Like, what would this for? It's motivation stuff. Like, shut up, go get a new job. I was like, they don't understand. The first sign of success is that the masses are going to doubt you. They're going to think you're crazy. So I was like, okay, they're going to think I'm crazy. So cool. I need to move to London. In my head, someone told me to move to London, so I went to London. I got a coach on a mega bus. Oh my God! I got a mega bus for like £5. But I went there, okay? I got to London with my suitcase, like a 1980 something suitcase. And I decided that I was going to move, and I had £400 in my name. And that was my deposit, and I moved in East London. And the landlord only allowed me to do it for £400 a month, which she fancied me. So I was like, you know, I can play with this a little bit. I can do this for a month. But then when I got there, I said, you know, why? My family is still in a toxic environment. I want to go there, and I'm going to get crazy exposure. I'm going to get everywhere. I'm going to go to schools, colleges, universities, you name it. I went to Canary Wharf. I said, don't pay me a penny. Don't pay me anything, just give me talk. And I started transforming people's lives. Up until this day now, where I've reached over 500,000 people from around the world. So the psychology, okay, so the purpose is number one. In the psychology, study the mind, know who you are. If you don't control your mind, somebody else will. If you don't control your mind, somebody else will. So you must realize that your mind, the subconscious can't reject. So when you're around negative people, much as you say to yourself, I'm not going to get that negativity, you will get it, it will come. It's like squashing water. Be around like-minded people. When I was in London, I would find people that were already doing what I was doing. How can I serve you? How can I help you? I'm not trying to take, because I know 24 hours a day, they're getting people that message me saying, oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? No, service. You're serving. How can I add value to your life? And I started connecting with people that were doing what I wanted to do. I knew that if I wanted to reach the masses and add loads of value to the world, I had to be financially free. To never worry about money ever again. How do I do it? How am I going to become financially free? Well, number one, study money. Understand what money is. Financial education. They didn't teach us. They didn't teach us that in school for a reason, right? They want us to trade our time rather than money. But I knew the process. I was like, okay, so I understand that we don't get paid for our time. We get paid for the value we put into that time. The value we put into that time. So when I knew that, I was like, okay, so I just need to pay for people's needs. People are in a place where I've been, and they're still there. And I know the strategy to get them from here to here. And you ask them, how much is that worth to you? It's priceless. So I knew that as a coach, what I was coaching, what I was teaching was priceless. Because I'd spent the last 4 years studying every single day, asking questions, learning, going to seminars, having coaches, to condense all of that information and put it in here. I didn't need tangible products to sell. I just had know-how. So when I realized that, but I couldn't do something I didn't love. See, it's all started from what I loved. When someone shared their story to me, I fell in love with humanity. As cheesy as it sounds, I fell in love with people. I had to learn to love people like a mother loves a child. Regardless of how long I've known you, I know that you've gone through things in your life. And I know someone you don't tell anyone. I know this. No one has to pay for your life. You see, a lot of people, I'm an Arsenal supporter, right? If I see another Arsenal supporter, I'm like, and I've never seen it like every China, right? I see another Arsenal supporter, I'm like, yes, we're cool. So I thought, there's that connection. My connection is with pain. And everyone experiences pain. And people can be dicks to you sometimes. But those who are being dicks to you, are they truly happy in their life? No. The successful people mind their own business. So I start to have empathy for people, empathy, love for people, want to serve, help people. And then when I start to realise that, I'm starting to reach the masses. Like in the last 11 months, I've been to 4 continents and 5 countries. In 11 months, I'm like, Warren, how the hell have you done that in 1 year? So now you're missing the point. It wasn't 1 year. Okay, that was the seed that was planted when I had to have pure faith. I had to have pure faith. You know, that seed that I was investing in every single day was going to come out. And it came out. So it's not a coincidence, it was a vision. It was understanding the psychology, realizing that your mind can't determine what's real and what's not real. If you see it and you believe it, you can then convince yourself. And once you convince you, convincing others then becomes easy. So the psychology, okay, is vital. So that you'll learn, you're always a student, regardless of, like, you can learn from children, you can learn from people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, you can learn from women, you can learn from Asian people, you can learn from black people. You always learn, just learn. Everyone has golden nuggets. And you're always learning. When you're always learning, you're becoming more valuable in the financial market. And you're becoming more valuable to your family as well. Because you have a better know-how. So what I wanted to do, I realized that when you come to seminars, you only remember 10% of what's been said today. But you never forget how you felt at that seminar. So whenever I do a talk, I always say to myself, you want to put it equal over there. Okay? It's not about me, it's not about how well you perform on stage. It's about what it's about someone out there who can relate to me. It's about me adding value. Me adding value, that's all it is. I'm a vessel. Anyone can achieve this if you put the right dedication in. So when I say that before I go on stage, my intention is to put my heart into my words. Can you feel what I'm saying when I'm speaking? Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
So it's like words that are emotionless. It's like a prick to the heart. When you attach emotion to words, it goes straight through. So you want to get someone in a place where their back is up against the wall. You see, a lot of people that are successful, they've had a near-death experience. Okay, they've had their life taken away, so then they see the value of time, and they start to use their time differently. They start to treat their loved ones like they love them unconditional love, and they treat them like that every single day, because they know that life can be taken away from you every single day. But you don't have to have that near-death experience. You just need to take a mind there. And when you go to that place, you're like, shit, I need to take action in my life. I need to take action in my life. You see, most people that don't live life in their terms, it's the feel. It's the false evidence appearing real that's keeping them in their comfort zone. And in the comfort zone is beautiful. You've got HDTV, you've got sofas, but nothing grows in the comfort zone. So what I want to do right now, I'm the founder of the Fearless Speaking Academy, so I coach people how to speak in a day. And I want to prove to you guys how powerful the mindset is. Is there anyone in this room that's never spoken on the stage before? Put your hand up. Oh, wait, if you put his hand up, oh my God, I know what he's going to do now. What's your name? Richard. Richard! He's in business. This is no man's land. Okay, guys? Okay. So Richard, I want you to stand here. Okay? Face the audience. See if you can say. How are you feeling right now?
A little bit nervous.
Yeah, we're nervous. Okay. With this physiology, what's he doing with this physiology? With his body language?
Very
Closing in. Playing with this. Yeah? What happens is that whenever you go on to a place where it's outside of your comfort zone, the mind is going, oh my God, we can go! We can go! Oh my God! Actually, when you speak on the stage, I can't lie. What are you passionate about?
sport.
Okay, what? What sport?
Golf.
Is that good?
Well,
Who do you love in your life?
My wife.
Your wife? What's your wife's called?
Laura.
Laura. Okay, what do you want to provide for your wife?
Life she deserves.
Say that again. Say that again. So you want to give her a life that she deserves. What are you willing to do for her?
Everything.
You know, you agree, all of you guys say the same, right? Everything. Okay, so I just want to do something, okay? So a lot of people, they get on stage, they're like,